What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into NYJ Today. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the Pro Bowl left guard from the New England Patriots, Joe Thuney, who is set to become a free agent next month. Let's get after it. So a couple of things that we're just going to note here before we actually start to get into the details of Joe Thuney. We just need to mention that this was a very highly coveted player by the New England Patriots last year, so much so that the New England Patriots elected to use the franchise tag to keep him from hitting free agency last offseason. There were a ton of rumors that the New York Jets were 100% interested in him if he did hit the free agent market. And I know, like myself and many other Jets fans, we were all very disappointed to hear that he wasn't going to hit free agency. Having said that, looking at this tweet here, if you don't follow You Stadium, he's a great follow on Twitter. He has a ton of great NFL and New York Jets information and inside details. And he says right now that the Joe Thuney and the New England Patriots are nowhere close on a deal and that the franchise tag isn't happening. So what that tells us is that he's going to hit free agency this year. It's almost certain that he's going to hit it. And everybody's going to be very interested in him, and there's going to be a ton of competition. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to be in hot pursuit for Joe Thuney. They need to do a better job of protecting Joe Burrow. And the New York Jets, we know they're going to be really interested because they had terrible guard play. Greg Van Roten didn't get it done. Alex Lewis didn't get it done. We still don't know what we have out of our 4th round pick, Cameron Clark, out of Charlotte. So Joe Thuney would be a huge upgrade for the position and for our offensive line, and we're going to get into the details of why that would be. All right, so probably Joe Thuney's greatest strength, and we're going to talk about it on this tweet here from PFF. Joe Thuney, since 2018, he has allowed only 3 sacks. So you're talking about the 2018 season, the 2019 season, and the 2020 season. So on average, he's giving about 1 sack every single season. That's truly elite pass protection. It says that he has 2008 pass block snaps in that amount of time. So you're talking about one of the best interior offensive linemen that provides an elite level of pass protection for the quarterback. We know that Sam Darnold struggled to have protection at times during the NFL season. It wasn't necessarily coming from the edges, it was more so coming up in the middle, up in his face. And Joe Thuney would be able to help fix that situation. And we all need to remember back to the 2018 Super Bowl, the 2018 season when the New England Patriots were up against the Rams. And Aaron Donald he plays inside, and he took a ton of snaps playing on the inside. And Joe Thuney was lined up against him quite a bit in that Super Bowl, and Aaron Donald was quiet. The New England Patriots win that game, they won it 10-3, and it was just an incredible job by their offensive line to protect Brady, to open up some running lanes. It was a very defensive game, but the offensive line prevented people like Aaron Donald from wrecking the game and making big plays happen. Another really big positive that we can take away from Joe Thuney hitting the open market is that this dude has a absolutely pristine bill of health. A lot of times free agents will hit the open market, or players I should say, hit the open market because of some sort of factor. They may not have the cap room, they may not have a need at the position due to a draft pick now filling the role. It may be a situation where the player has been banged up and hasn't been able to stay healthy, and that's not the case with Joe Thuney. I think that this guy has shown that he is an absolute rock on the inside and is kind of like a Brett Favre of the offensive line. This guy just doesn't miss games. If you're looking at his career dating back to 2016 all the way through 2020, he's never missed a start. And so when we're talking about offensive lines, we're talking about a unit that needs to have cohesion, needs to be on the same page. And we're not going to have to worry about Joe Thuney missing games. This guy is 16 for 16 for the past 5 years. And I have up here his snaps for the 2020 season. It looks like he may have missed some time in the San Francisco game, but then was right back in the fold the following week versus the Buffalo Bills, and for the remainder of the year, he was in there. And you can even see he actually played some snaps on special teams too. So this guy can help, the kicking game to protect the kicker as well. So it's just something that's worth noting. Knowing that this guy, we can sign him and not have any worries about his ability to stay healthy, and it just makes you feel confident to invest heavily in a player like him. Another really important aspect when looking at offensive linemen, aside from their injury past, is their ability to not commit penalties. And we're looking at his penalties dating back to 2016, and actually his rookie year, he kind of struggled with penalties. He had 9 his first year in the NFL, 6 holding penalties, 3 false starts, and it looks like one of them was declined. But then you see that the second year, he really improved. Only 2 penalties, 4 his third year, 0 his fourth year, which is incredible. And then this past year, he had 3 holding penalties as well. So it looks like if he's going to commit a penalty, it's typically a holding penalty. And again, very low penalty, infractions. He's not really one that you have to worry about having a ton of penalties each season. Again, very critical to an offensive lineman. You need to be able to make your blocks without having a bunch of infractions on the offensive line. All right, so you might be wondering, why the hell do I have a picture of Alan Faneca on the screen here? If you don't know, Alan Faneca was a free agent from the Pittsburgh Steelers that the New York Jets signed back in 2009, and he completely changed the identity of this football team. So just a quick couple of things. I know that Joe Thuney is not Alan Faneca, number one. Number two, I know that Alan Faneca was a little bit more known for his run blocking ability, so they're not exactly the same type of guard. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that Alan Faneca came in and changed the identity of the football team, and he dramatically improved our offense. Our running game improved, our pass protection improved, and so I put this picture up here for a couple of reasons. Number one, guards matter. Guards can change the way your offense produces on the field. It can improve your ability to score inside the red zone. It can improve in reducing negative plays like penalties, sacks, hits on the quarterback. And so I bring this up to you to just kind of highlight the idea that by signing somebody like Joe Thuney, no, it's not sexy. No, it's not going to be, a move that a lot of people will be talking about necessarily. But this is the kind of move that can pay enormous dividends for our team. So when you get a guard like a Joe Thuney, like an Alan Faneca, and again, Alan Faneca is a 9-time Pro Bowler, so I know that Joe Thuney is not on par with him, and we know that Alan Faneca is now in the Hall of Fame. But when you sign somebody like Joe Thuney to improve your offensive line, you're going to be improving your running game, your pass blocking. It's going to impact all of the facets of offense. It's going to help your defense because you're going to be able to stay on the field longer. It's going to help a quarterback, whether it's Sam Darnold, whether we are protecting a quarterback like Deshaun Watson after trading for him. It's going to help a quarterback if we draft someone in the first round. So I just love the idea of putting our resources and really utilizing the cap space to improve our offensive line. I don't know if Joe Thuney is my number one free agent person that I want to go after. I do think that Allen Robinson might be the smarter choice to use the money and to go after as our number one target. But you could absolutely make the argument, and I could definitely get behind it as far as going after somebody like Joe Thuney to improve the offense, to help our defense, to stay on the field, to be more efficient inside the red zone. I would be ecstatic with this kind of move. And again, we're going to be bringing in this Shanahan offense. We're going to be doing a lot more running. We're going to be doing a lot more where our guards need to be able to pull and to be able to move to do these outside zone runs. So I just think that there's too much to like here as far as this move goes, and it could really do wonders for our offense. And again, it could change the identity of our team, just like Alan Faneca did back in 2009. So in summary, my answer is yes. I would absolutely support a move like this if Joe Douglas decided to target Joe Thuney in free agency next month. I think there's a lot of benefits to the team if we do decide to do something like this. I don't think it's logical that we can sit here and say, oh yes, Joe Douglas, he's going to get Allen Robinson and he's going to get Joe Thuney. Free agency doesn't necessarily work like that. You don't typically land two of the top prospects at their positions like this. There's too many teams that are vying for these players, and there's just too many teams with a lot of money to spend, and we're not going to be able to throw money like this at more than, you know, one player or two. And we have multiple holes to fill. And so I don't think it makes a lot of sense for us to plan or to think as fans that we're going to land Allen Robinson and Joe Thuney, even though those are two enormous needs for our team. So again, I still favor the idea of signing someone like Allen Robinson in free agency and then maybe drafting a guard from Ohio State, Wyatt Davis, at the 23rd overall pick. That's going to do it for this free agent profile video. Thank you so much for watching NYJ Today. If you guys could all please jet up the like button, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to be continuing to put out more free agent profiles all the way up until the last day before free agency begins. I'm very, very excited about free agency. I'm looking forward to seeing what Joe Douglas's plan is for this season. I do think that we will learn quite a bit about, you know, what he envisions this team looking like and what Robert Saleh wants this team to look like. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the elite free agents that we sign. Even if we're going after second and third tier free agents, I think that we're going to know the plan moving forward, and I just can't wait to get into it with you guys. So please let me know what you think in the comments. Go Jets, and I'll see you guys next time.